Next week on Home and Away in the UK, Bree's life is on the line as she's stabbed by an unruly patient at the hospital. With her breakup from Remy still raw, Bree is beginning to struggle at home now that she's ended up living with two loved-up couples. Recent months have seen Theo and Lacey move into the Pier apartment, with flatmate Sunny inviting girlfriend Dana to move in last week following the sale of the beach house. Next week, as Dana makes a flirty phone call to Sunny at the end of her shift at the hospital, Bree and Joe can't help but hear all the sordid details. As Joe comments that it's a bit much, Bree points out that Dana's just moved into her place, and the atmosphere can be a little triggering now she's single. As Joe and Dana head off, Bree explains that she still has work to do, despite having reached the end of her own shift. When Dana meets Sunny, Lacey and Theo in the surf club, Dana tells them that Bree is clearly making excuses to stay at work and avoiding being at home. Dana feels terrible. It's as though they've forced Bree out of her own home. Sunny immediately takes action, dashing straight to the hospital where he finds Bree taking her frustrations out on the vending machine. Bree claims that she's busy, but Sunny senses otherwise, and tells her he's come there with an offer she can't refuse, but she needs to come home first. When Bree later walks through the door at home, she's quickly ushered into one of the bedrooms by Dana to get ready, Sunny's plan still under wraps. When they later emerge, Bree is greeted by the sight of her living room turned into party central by her housemates, with music blaring and drinks flowing. They tell her it's a night dedicated to her. Sunny's quick off the mark with a tray of shots for a round of water or vodka, but the punchline soon becomes clear: every single one is vodka. Downstairs in the diner, David and Joe share a reflective moment as they reminisce about Lacey when she was younger. Talk turns to the difficult situation they now find themselves in, separated from Lacey when they want nothing more than to be a family again. David has already presented Lacey with a key to the beach house, assuring her that it's her home too, but aren't too optimistic that she'll be using it anytime soon. The peace is broken by the thud of music from upstairs, and when David takes a call from the station about a disturbance, he knows exactly where he's heading. It's an awkward moment for Lacey when her dad arrives and orders them to turn the music down. Theo quickly complies, but Lacey, embarrassed, follows David back downstairs. In the diner, she slams the spare key he had given her back onto the table, reminding him that he's no longer part of her life. Upstairs, the others laugh that a party isn't really a party until the cops show up. Bree admits she's had a brilliant night, and tells her housemates not to hold back from enjoying themselves, and each other, just because she's single. Unfortunately, Bree's newfound good mood doesn't last long, thanks to a shocking incident at the hospital. The next day, Bree and Joe are working side by side at the hospital when chaos interrupts their shift. A volatile patient named Bart, Charlie Faulkner, is wheeled in, suspected of being under the influence of drugs. Joe tries to take charge of his assessment, but as she goes to attach monitors, he suddenly gropes her rear end. Joe reacts with weary resignation, accustomed to this kind of behavior, but Bree immediately steps in, telling Joe to call for security. As Bart continues to cause issues, Joe informs Bree that security are currently dealing with an incident on another floor, but will be there as soon as they can. Bree reminds Joe that she doesn't have to stay quiet about the incident if she wants to report it, and she will support her in doing so. Both women know harassment is far too common in their work, but Bree makes it clear she won't tolerate it. Joe appreciates Bree's support, but she's been through it all before and she'd rather just get back to work. When Bart begins to kick off again, Bree asks someone to get an update on security before she assists the nurses in holding Bart down to sedate him. She firmly warns him that if he tries anything like that again, the next people he'll be talking to will be the police. A short while later, believing it's likely that Bart has suffered a heart attack, she heads back to insert a cannula so she can take some urgent bloods. But despite his sedation, Bart begins to fight back again as he forcefully tells Bree that he doesn't want it. As Bart becomes more violent, Bree struggles to restrain him. Bart then reaches over to the nearby tray and is able to grab a pair of medical scissors. Before Bree even has time to react, Bart plunges the scissors into Bree's side. Bree stumbles back in shock as she clutches her wound, her hand covered in blood as she begins to bleed out. Staggering until she hits the wall, Bree's knees buckle as she slides down to the floor, struggling to breathe as the blood seeps through her fingers. Will Bree be found in time?